Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Swipe up, episode 190. This is the show where I give my opinions on current events. Let me tell you, people love to hate my opinions on things that are happening in the world. And I love it. I love seeing people crying in my comment sections, really low-key threatening me in weird ways. It's very interesting. It's very interesting to see how offended people are with little old me in my opinion on my show. But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Reported COVID infections level nearly 6 times higher than last Memorial Day. Obviously, Memorial Day just happened at this point almost a couple weeks ago. And apparently Memorial Day is a huge day for people to go travel. I've never really, aside from having the day off, never really celebrated Memorial Day in any special way. But apparently it's a big holiday, big travel day. And I'm not surprised the COVID is a lot higher. I mean, you can even look at these comments. Somebody stop it. #lies. Memorial Day was yesterday. Just how did they get these numbers so quick? Can we stop reporting on cases, counts on focus, hospitalizations, and deaths? I mean, they get the numbers fast. It's because those were reported numbers by like hospitals and things like that. This article mentions that the numbers are probably a lot higher because people are testing themselves at home. They're not really going to a place that will input the positive cases and report those numbers. So chances are it's a lot higher. I'm not that surprised. People have been pretending this thing has been over since it started. And even the people that took precautions during the majority of the pandemic are treating it like it's done. Like, kids don't wear masks in school. Not that school is going anymore. Just masks in general seem to be whatever. I mean, there's still people that wear them now and then, but I myself have not changed anything once the pandemic started. My lifestyle has been pretty much existing in one room primarily. I get things delivered to me. I'm not a big fan of going to stores and shopping and things like that. I kind of prefer ordering things and having them brought to me. I don't, aside from not going to see movies, which I would like to go see Top Gun. I would like to go see Everything Everywhere All at Once. But I know those things are eventually going to be available through streaming platforms. So I don't miss movies enough in theaters. I don't miss them enough to want to go to see one. Plus, I don't have a vehicle that works. I don't want to have to pay money to get my vehicle working. I also don't want to have to constantly fill up my vehicle with ridiculous gas prices that are caused by greedy companies. So there's a lot of things that are still keeping me at home, not going out, not being around people. I have never gotten COVID. Knock on air. But like when the pandemic happened, it was like that's like my lifestyle. Like, I was built for pandemics. Oh, you want me to stay away from people? You want me to not go? You giving me a reason where it's beneficial to society for me not to go out and socialize? Oh, twist my arm. That's like something I've been criticized for doing my entire life. Now it is something that is beneficial to society. Of course I'll stay home. But yeah. And I think, the whole COVID thing is a bit overshadowed considering so many people dying from bullets being shot at them. It is much more of a direct thing where You can see the gun, you can see the bullets, you can see the bodies piling up. It is much more visceral, much more dramatic to see a pile of slaughtered children with bullet holes in them than it is for people who have been put on ventilators and dying in hospitals. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, not only did people not give a shit about the death, the 1 million+ people that have died from COVID, but people literally don't give a shit that children are being slaughtered. They don't give a shit that the police officers involved did nothing. Actively made it worse for the children involved. Probably led to more children dying because of the police inability to do anything. There's people that defend the police. There's people that defend the gun manufacturers, the people that want to own guns for their hobbies. Because you don't need a assault rifle to hunt, and if you do, you're a shitty gunsman. You're a horrible hunter if you need an assault rifle to hunt. And your assault rifle isn't going to do shit if you think you're going to defend against a tyrannical government in the United States, a government that has the largest military power in the world, exponentially larger than every other country, with a police force that is bigger than most countries' armies. You think that owning how many, you want 40 assault rifles? Is that going to protect you? You going to hold all of them like a cartoonish Rambo or something like that? Like, people think movies are reality and propaganda is real and the bodies are piling up and they just don't give a shit. They're like, oh, we should make government contracts with weapon manufacturers to arm teachers. Because those are the people that pay me. How did this talk about COVID get to guns again? Because that's the big thing going on right now. And just as COVID, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. They pretend to care about people, but they don't. Their actions don't. Their words don't match their actions. And it's so clear. But they're so delusional. It's like, duh. Anyway, wear your mask. I still, if I do go anywhere, I have masks. I will wear them. But yeah. I'm surprised my roommate's kid has gotten COVID from the baby daddy, who was an idiot. So I was able to avoid that. I don't think my roommate got COVID from that. Precautions were taken immediately. But yeah, and that was like months ago. So, and thankfully school is out now. So not only is the kid safe from getting COVID from other kids, but he's also safe from potential school shooters, at least for a couple months until school starts up again. Just got to watch out for grocery stores and churches. Not that they go to church, churches, schools, funerals, hospitals, doctor's offices, massage parlors, probably most places you could still get shot at, but at least schools are closed for the summer.
And now a quick word from our sponsor. Now you can wear The Many Faces, original art by Ray Taylor. Select pieces from the ongoing series of abstract ink paintings. All products made with high-quality materials, made right here in the USA. Go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch to browse the entire collection and save yourself an extra 10% when you check out by using coupon code RTSTMF. So once again, go to inspireddisorder.com/TMF merch and save 10% when you use coupon code RTSTMF. And now, back to our show.
But let's move on. To one of the most overrated pieces of art, in my opinion, by far, is the Mona Lisa. Had some cake thrown on the glass that protects it, which when I saw this initially, the first thing I saw was a video of somebody wiping the cake, the frosting off of what looked to be directly off of the Mona Lisa. I was like, how did they do? Like, isn't there? I thought there was glass. I thought there's, and it just. Why are they just wiping it? Why wouldn't they take precautions to make sure it's cleaned properly? Because so many people value that overrated painting so much. But it was just glass, and even still, had difficulty wiping frosting off of the glass. Like, kind of pathetic how poorly these people were able to clean frosting off of glass. And apparently it was done by somebody who was dressed up to look like an old lady in a wheelchair, and it was to give awareness to climate change, to, pay attention to what's going on with the planet, which I am way more supportive of that person and their message than I ever have or will be for the Mona Lisa. Despite the fact that I am an artist, I create art myself. The Mona Lisa is, in my opinion, one of the most overrated pieces of art. Portraits, still life, hyper real. I mean, at least hyper real stuff requires a lot of technique ability, but these are like forms of art that I think are very boring. They're remnants of a time where the only people who bought art were wealthy people. The only people to commission art were wealthy people, and all those wealthy people only care about themselves, so they always got portraits of themselves. Not that that's what the Mona Lisa was, but it's not substantial in any way, in my opinion. I don't care how many people do think pieces on the Mona Lisa, and however they choose to describe why it is a great piece of art. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It is boring. It is representative of one of the most boring times in art, in all of art. It is the thing that was completely it was the thing of the time. And what I appreciate about art was when the Dada movement became a thing and was in direct protest to this type of art and gave birth to surrealism, gave birth to expressionism, and gave birth to imagination in the art world, which that I appreciate. I appreciate imagination. I appreciate creativity. I don't care about pictures of old people. Do not care. And I do faces, but I'm not doing, like, if I did give a shit about this kind of stuff, then I would be doing pictures of famous people, because that would be like, I would get clout, I would get views, because people care about that shit. People value famous people over just normal people. And that's not why I do what I do. I do faces because they are very interesting and unique thing to do a painting of, and have been the subject of much of art. But I don't have any desire to do recognizable faces, famous faces. Doesn't at all, like, the person that does the hyper real portraits of famous people, it's like pop music to me. It's just like it's like dead inside, in my opinion. There's no life to it. There's no creativity in it. If your finished product is indistinguishable from a photograph, then what have you done? Where is the art? Where is the creativity? What did you create? You just replicated with your hands. You're expressing amazing technical ability to be able to do hyper real, to understand color in a way that I'm incapable of doing because I'm colorblind. So I can appreciate the technical aspect of it, but there's zero creativity. There is the complete opposite. There is a complete lack of creativity to make something look exactly like, to be so exact that it's indistinguishable from a photograph. That's why we have cameras. It's like somebody being proud of doing long division when we have calculators. It's like, okay, good job. You were able to do something accurately in a very difficult way. We don't need that anymore. So anyway, Mona Lisa got some cake. Not even on the painting. On the plexiglass. And they struggled to clean the plexiglass. As if frosting is this material that is just impenetrable to cleaning products. Anyway. Mona Lisa, don't care. Let's move on. Let's move on to some good news. So, just another reason why I love Canada. Not just the socialized health care, but Canada proposes freeze on buying and selling of handguns. After the tragedy that happened in Uvalde, Texas, where in America nobody seems to care. Politicians, I mean, a lot of people care, don't get me wrong. The majority of politicians dragging their feet to do anything or completely opposed to doing stuff. A lot of citizens protesting any actions to be taken against their precious little hobby tools. Their precious little tools that are specifically designed to end life. But, you know, it's a mental health issue. Defending guns over human life is mental health. Collecting hordes of guns, and especially not only collecting hordes of guns, but like displaying all of your guns like on a driveway or on the floor of your bedroom or in your house. All of your family members posing with your guns in front of the Christmas tree. Every kind of variation of that is a sign of severe mental illness, in my untrained opinion. It is just disgusting. The level of like worship people have for tools that are specifically designed to end lives. Tools that are so good at ending life. It is the number one thing that causes death in children. It is safer to be a police officer in America than it is to be a kid going to learn long division. And Canada, as well as every other developed country in the world, has strict gun laws and don't have these mass shooting issues. They have the same music, video games, mental health issues. Everything else culturally is the same as America. They just don't have access to tools specifically designed to end life. Weird. They have the same amount of doors. It's just crazy. What is it? I don't know. I watched the Joe Rogan podcast, and he says it's mental health, so it's Joe Rogan knows. He's a liberal, don't you know? So anyway, Canada. I would love to live in Canada if it had better weather. Like, if I have to leave, I would probably go to Mexico. It's better weather. A lot of the benefits that, you know, that you don't have in America. Way less expensive cost of living. But, you know, Canada, awesome place. You know, I'm sure however minuscule the number of gun deaths are in Canada, whatever laws they put in place is only going to reduce that number. Nothing else. You're not going to get more shootings with less guns, which is completely in contradiction to the delusional people that live in America that think adding more tools specifically designed to end life will limit death in some, like, it's just so delusional how the logic that people in America have. Like, if you were to apply that to anything, water causes people to drown. Oh, don't blame water. It's the person that went in the water. The only way to stop water from making somebody drown is to add more water. Oh, COVID's killing people. Okay, let's add more COVID. It's mind-boggling. And they're all going to be crying in comments from clips of this episode. It's my right. It's my God-given right. Whatever.
Join Inspired Disorder Plus today. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus to join. Membership includes members-only discounts and deals. You get access to the Ray Taylor Show completely ad-free, as well as bonus episodes. You get access to the complete live painting archive. You also get access to every single podcast ever produced by Inspired Disorder, hosted by Ray Taylor. You get access to Ray Taylor's personal blog, as well as the opportunity to ask me any questions. So if you want to start a podcast, you're into art, ask me anything. And so many more things are being added every day to Inspired Disorder Plus. So sign up today, become a member, head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today.
Let's move on to something that, probably hits me more than no guns, more than no formula. Movie Insider warns of popcorn shortage this summer. I gotta tell you, out of all the shortages that are going on, having a shortage in popcorn is not a good thing. I am a fan of movies. I review at least 3 movies a week. I watch a bunch of movies throughout the week, usually to do a top 5 on Sundays. So I'm watching, at minimum, 8 movies a week. Generally watching quite a bit more than that. And one of the staples, one of the must-haves, although I don't eat popcorn every time I watch a movie, but it is the staple for movie watching, especially if you're going to a movie theater and you actually want to support the movie theater financially. You buy popcorn, you buy a soda, because that's the only way movie theaters make money. They don't make money in ticket sales. For somebody that used to work at a movie theater, I know. That's why they charge so much for popcorn and soda. But that's crazy. Corn is like so subsidized in this country. And I'm sure the majority of the corn that is grown and subsidized in this country is used for feed, is used for fuel, is used for things that aren't consumed by humans, despite the fact that corn is in most products. Most edible products have corn in them, corn syrup or corn in general. I think it's like the number 1 whole grain that is consumed in America. But yeah, shortage of popcorn, which I'm sure Big Popcorn is going to raise the popcorn prices. The Orville Redenbachers and Pop Secrets of the world are going to raise their prices regardless of a shortage happening. This could be fake news in order to excuse whatever price hikes they're going to have. I mean, if you thought popcorn was expensive in movie theaters before, just wait. I don't know how movie theaters are surviving anyway, but, it is what it is. But yeah, popcorn. It is delicious, though. It is. It's weird how popcorn is good. When I used to work in a movie theater out of high school, my first legitimate job was working at a movie theater. And one of the perks of working at a movie theater, aside from getting to watch movies for free, is you got free soda and popcorn. And for me, I was poor because I was working at a movie theater. Didn't have a lot of money. So I took advantage of the free popcorn and soda. And one of the things that was available at the theater I worked at were jalapenos. So good. If you've never had pickled jalapenos on your popcorn, you don't know what you're missing. And if you don't like spicy food, then obviously forget about that. But if you do like spicy food, see if your movie theater has jalapenos. I'm sure not all of them do. If you have hot dogs, there's a chance they have jalapenos also. But that was my go-to. We'd fill up the L trays, little cardboard trays that you can get, because when it comes to inventory to movie theater, the bags and cups are inventoried. So as long as you have your own cup and you use those trays, you just fill it with popcorn, bada bing, bada boom, put jalapenos on it. So good. But when that is your primary source of food, there's a tricky thing that happens when you have to go expel the waste, as it were, when you have to take a shit. And that is the popcorn kernels that you'll get stuck in your gums, you know. A lot of those you end up swallowing, and when your only diet, or when the majority of your diet consists of popcorn and jalapenos, those go through you. And it's bad enough to shit and have spicy shits because of hot sauce, because of jalapenos, whatever spicy pepper that is in the food. Everybody knows how that burns when it comes out. Now just imagine, add into the spiciness that you feel as the shit comes out of your sphincter. Imagine tiny little razor blades, known as popcorn kernels, slicing and dicing your butthole. And I don't know if you've ever had hot sauce in an open wound, but the last place you want that open wound is for the exit for everything that you put inside of your body, because there's nothing you can do. Now we live in an era where bidets are popular, and you can I don't have those issues anymore. And I obviously don't survive on popcorn like I did in my early 20s. But let me tell you, those days were horrible. Walking like you just rode into town on a horse, like you crossed from Oklahoma to California on a horse, your legs can't be spread wide enough to try and just let your butthole breathe a little bit. Because it's not only suffering from the spiciness of the jalapeno, it is suffering from the open wounds of the popcorn that are being stung and drenched with the spiciness of the jalapenos. It was a tough time in my life. It was a tough time. Thankfully, I was a younger man. I could survive it. I could deal with it. You know, but yeah, eating popcorn with jalapenos is the way to go. Just don't make it the only thing you eat. That is my advice to the younger generation and to the older generation, for anybody that was considering that lifestyle. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Let's do some shout-outs and get out of here, shall we? This one's easy. Shout-out to ABC News. Shout-out to Now This News. But most importantly, shout-out to you.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.